a video went viral showing Cam Newton in a hat that Cree Summers wears with his locks out, and all we saw was the people's bodies being thrown around, some in the bushes, some being hit with other people. And I didn't know exactly what was going on, but apparently there was some strife between he and two former members of his 7-on-7. He's got a football league that he's been doing for a while. They've been jawing at each other. There've been some tension, some, words exchanged. And Cat does too. Cam Newton talks greasy. He's very antagonistic. He talks trash, but so did Jordan. He's a trash talker. It's okay. They decided this. I think somebody said that Cam started it, but he also finished it. And people were saying, he's a football player. You shouldn't run up on somebody who runs through linebackers. Basically, was chased by 200-pound Mack trucks during the course of his career. And I'm not taking sides. I'm not condoning the violence or what have you. I just think that we're in a very disrespectful. There was a time when you just don't put your hands. Even if it's, antagonistic, you don't put your hands on somebody in a situation like that. I don't know if y'all know more than I do. I know Roderick does balls out.
Balls
sports.
deep.
I know balls deep. Balls out. Sports. Are they deep? Or where the balls
premium
at?
Sports podcast on the Blackout Tips Network.
Okay, thank you.
The thing with Cam, I don't know what started it. Like, I know what they say started it, but I don't know because like they was on some like, if y'all would have heard the way he was talking to us, and I'm like, he's 6'7", 6'6", almost 300 pounds. He probably talked to everybody that way, man. What was it that made y'all feel like y'all had a chance? You know what I mean?
It was four of them. It was four. It was
right.
like three
I need
or four
y'all to say something specific, because the only way I'm gonna really be able to process it is if you tell me what was said, for me to be like, you know what, bro? Some days you just got to do what you got to do. But right now, y'all like the general disrespect. He don't respect y'all. Y'all at his camp. You know, like he there to teach y'all. Just listen.
So I was team Cam before, during the video, and especially now. So they were his coaches. So he knew who they were. So he did his podcast today. Well, he released it today, 4th and 1. Okay. So it was about 52 minutes. The last 22 minutes was a stand-up, mannish apology where he held himself 100% accountable. Wow. He explained what happened, how it should have happened, how he let down people that, look up to him, friends and family. He even apologized to the dudes individually by name. Like, he really, really laid it out. And watching it, I was like, you don't see this anymore. You just don't see it. And so he, my hat with braids attached to it goes off to him. Because with locks attached to it, because he did what is not being done in today's society. And so I salute him, and he still has.
So what did he say started it, or he didn't say either?
Trash talk. He's competitive.
Okay.
He said, I'm competitive. We're in a competitive sport. This is what, and between him and the coaches, they had like a little bit of rivalry. And so when you talking trash and it gets to that point, like, nothing's off the table. Like, you know what I mean? So, y'all here because of me. I made y'all. What did you talk about? Get on my face, little boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all kind of been in that. We're going to say what it is to rile you up. But all four of y'all thinking y'all going to have to roll this man and pack this man out in front of all these people and kids. That part of it speaks to the negative part of society where everybody thinks they got to get their lick in and everybody wants to go viral. And so
and speaking to that generation thing too, I grew up in a trash talking environment in my house.
Yeah.
My house, my dad would trash talk. I mean, like you just had to learn how to take that or give it back. Especially playing cards or Scrabble. I mean, there was like always like antagonistic conversations. My brother couldn't take it as much, but I learned how to not just absorb it, but also get it back. And his whole thing was, you want me to shut up? You got to win.
Yeah.
Beat me.
And I deal with this at work too, with that population where they don't know how to handle, disrespect and rejection, because the number one thing they're taught at home is don't let nobody disrespect you. So you get that conditioned and beat into your head, and you get brainwashed where, I mean, you look at how life is, you're going to meet with disrespect every second of every day. So to have
at some
that
point, not every second, Lamont.
no, but what I'm
at some
saying is
point,
in some environments, it's your whole day. So if you can't control your emotions, and you know what you perceive as disrespect is immediate, your trigger is grounds for dismissal, you always going to be in conflict. And so what his point was, he said, I should have known better than to let myself lose control and essentially have them control my emotions, where I could have de-escalated, and because it could have gone worse. I could have got hurt, I could have got knocked out,
Right.
I could be in a coma. He said too many people depend on me for me to not be around. And I mean, it was like a 20-minute speech, and he hit every point. He hit everything that you would, you know, I hope he says this. He said it. And, you know, I left with a better understanding of what happened. And he's a man's man.
I'm gonna definitely check it out, because I want to hear what he got to say.
Yeah.
But also, it's weird that he feel bad about it, because I've never seen a man beat up people without beating up anybody. Like he never did anything.
He didn't put
malicious.
hands.
It was all like Superman holding up a bad guy who stole a purse. Like, hey man, get off me! What you doing?
Right. He mentioned that he didn't throw a punch.
No, he didn't. He threw people. He threw people. Right. Whole people got thrown. I do have a clip, not from his podcast because that just came out, but talking about the 7 on 7 League, and I wanted to play it because, again, the perspective is everything. We have a lot of opinions about folk that are doing things. We've talked about Killer Mike on this show and other. I never will disrespect what somebody's doing in the community, because I think that should supersede all that. I just wish some people would stop talking about politics when it's not there, when it's not helpful at the time. But the work, we should applaud it. So Cam Newton, this 7 on 7 League apparently has been doing some amazing work. So I just want to give voice to him through him to how he even got involved with this. Play that clip, Smith.
Legendary time.
Name me another NFL athlete that done impacted the community more than I did.
There's been a lot of guys, Cameron Newton,
that came through my 707 program. This is what I say.
Justin Fields,
Deshaun Watson, Bo Nix, George Pickens, like Cam Sutton.
Why don't you start an agency?
But I don't want nothing from the kids. That's the thing. I'm putting them on game. I've spent time, money, effort, energy to make sure that them at 15, 16 years old, bro, it's like, bro, this is how you're supposed to do it when you get in my position.
How much money?
I'm not talking about money.
Man, just give me a ballpark. Give us a ballpark how much you've invested.
Put it like this. I've been doing this for 15 years now. We have a tournament coming up this weekend. I'm gonna spend $25,000. We have around 8 to 9 tournaments this year. You do the math. Around $250,000 every year is invested in these kids. They try to make me out to be a bitter football player, but not knowing, like, bro, I'm really giving time, effort, and energy. These kids are staying at my house.
He is 34 years old, and he's been doing this for 50. Y'all, come on. He's 34 years old. He's been doing this since he was 19, 20. Can we? Yes. All right, because his brain wasn't even supposed to be fully formed at 19, and he felt the need to give back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't what it is. I appreciate this perspective, Lamont, too, because I didn't know that he owned his thing. Because initially I was like, this didn't have to happen. But I was so intrigued by him throwing people around that I was like, wow.
And he said he took some days to think about it. So he, every aspect of it. And he even made light of it. He said, I scrambled when I should have stayed in the pocket. That's how he opened it up. So I was like, okay, bet. Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do.
6'5", 245, 6'5", 245. As somebody that's getting in the gym, Roderick Morrow, the black guy who tips, I think you have a newfound respect for that level of fitness.
I already had the respect for that from jump. I mean, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, so I seen that grown man when we drafted him, man. I said, oh my Lord, we ain't never seen nothing like this. I mean, that's why he can say stuff like I'm a playmaker, and the rest of them is just they not game changers, they game managers. I said, if anyone can say it, it's that brother right there. He can say it. So I definitely I would not run up on him, because he looked like he could still do everything he wanted to on the field today if he needed to. So I'm good.